There he is, Dave.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the Intuitive Angel Facebook Live Show. I'm, of course, Amy Bianc, and this is Dave Enway.
He always makes me laugh.
Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Got a great show for you tonight.
We do.
Of course, doing Cherub Angel readings. These are readings for you and your kids.
For you and your grandkids and your kids. It's going to be really fun.
There you go. Okay, I'm going to go around.
All right. Bye, Dave.
Bye.
All right. So many of you asked the question about reincarnation. You know, like my little one is 2 and plays the piano. Well, that's a little unusual. But it does happen. It's called a reincarnation close under the skin. But even though you reincarnate, you do not necessarily have to live the life you lived. You have access to different traits, different things that you can do that are different than other people. And so each child comes both fresh and new and being ready to be molded, and also has traits. Hi there, everybody. And also has traits. So when you look at you can even, like when I held my son in my arms, I said, boy, this boy's going to be stubborn. And he was. And when I held my daughter, I thought, oh my God, she should be a lawyer. She didn't become a lawyer, but she's a lot like that. You can tell personality-wise the things that they have inside of them that are going to move them towards a specific thing, okay? However, hi Annie, thank you for sharing. And by the way, hi there Donna, the more you share our videos, the more the word gets out, the more people understand that people who do readings do not talk about necessarily bad energy. They are there to help you, to help you move forward, especially with little ones. So Doreen Virtue, she has a million decks out there, but she came up with this idea to do a deck of cards specifically for children. So not only this deck is little, see how cute it is? So it's nice for little children's hands. My granddaughter, who's 10, is fascinated by doing readings. Some of you might have seen her doing readings on my site. And she's really, really good at it. It's like amazing. But this is the kind of deck for her. This is the kind of deck for any child. And it's a wonderful deck for an experienced person like me to use, because sometimes I forget that beautiful childlike energy. So actually, after having played with this deck for a while, I'm going to start incorporating it in my grown-up readings, because the things that molded you in childhood are what you are. Hi, Joanne. So when your little ones are growing, they don't share. They don't tell you what's happening. I've talked to several teachers, and they tell me that when a child goes to school, the child is on their best behavior. The teacher does not know the child in your home who's acting out, who's crazy, who beats up their sister or brother. The teacher sees the best possible little girl, the best possible little boy, mostly. Okay, so when your child is there, it's tremendously stressful for that child to be in school. That's the way it is. And so when they come home, then they finally get out of stress and they act out. And then are they sharing? No, because you're mad at them, because they're acting out. So these cards help to get to the root of what that child is about and give the child some ideas and you some ideas about what you can do. So we're going to, and commercial time, this Friday here at the house, for those of you who are in the area, we're going to be having a mediumship seance.
Well, it's a mediumship circle.
Well, it's called a circle, but it's actually...
Medium circle, otherwise known as a seance.
Thank you, Dave.
Well, that's how I've been putting it out.
Well, the problem is seance has a bad name to it. It's like you think Madame Babushka is going to come and have her crystal ball, and then her guide is going to come, and hands are going to float in the air.
Do the accent for me, Annie.
Darling, your spirit is near. Like that.
You have bad energy.
You have bad energy. Ooh, a bad
You must
spirit.
Take $5,000 and put it in a paper bag.
I will sell you this rock for only $10,000. It's special. Actually, I want to thank Elspeth Kerr from Scotland. she made these rocks. She got these beautiful angel stickers, and I thought it would be appropriate rock to have on my desk when I was doing children angel readings. So thank you, Elspeth. It isn't really a $10,000 rock. It's a rock made with love that I wanted to share with you.
That you wouldn't sell for $1 million.
I wouldn't sell for $1 million because it came from a friend with
All
love.
right. But anyway, so the whole point of that exercise was to let people know we were being sarcastic.
We were being sarcastic. So a mediumship circle, which is commonly done in the UK, is similar to the seances that they had here in the U.S., only what happened was a lot of people took advantage of a lot of people with seances. So we're going to do the circle. I am going to have a guide speak to me and tell me who's here. So if you have someone you've always wanted to talk to and want to hear their words, you'll be able to hear. I will be speaking.
If they're here.
If they're here. I can't guarantee, right. But if they're here. So then everyone in the circle is going to be allowed to get messages and share messages, because messages aren't always clear. So if someone sitting in the circle is feeling something, feeling that there's something special coming through, they're going to be able to share. The new kitties, so somebody's just asking about the new kitties. They actually just were crawling up the wall just now.
They might make an appearance.
They might make an appearance. I can't guarantee it because they are crazy kitties. And they just before the show, they decided to climb on my chair and go to sleep, so I couldn't sit here. And that's new kitties for you. What can I say? So the mediumship meeting is going to be here. We're trying to keep it kind of manageable. So if you are going to call, please give us a call at 630-554-5040. It's this Friday from 7 until 9. We don't really want a huge amount of people because then it's too much energy. So please let us know. Okay, Dave is saying, we want a huge amount of people.
We want people.
Well, you know what? Maybe he has a point there. If you want to just observe, so some people can sit in a circle and some people can observe, and then we'll switch out if you want. So we can take probably between 15 and 20 people, no problem. All righty, there you go.
Amy,
Hi, Sharon.
What's the address of this wonderful event happening Friday from 7 to 9 o'clock?
2343 Douglas Road in Oswego, Illinois. And we're going to be, I'll be parking on the grass. There's a little parking issue, but I'll be parking on the grass. And once you get past the barricade, you too can park on the grass, so long as it's not raining like crazy. So we should be able to get everybody in, no problem.
But if it is raining, please refrain from parking on the grass, park on the street. Amy, how much does this class cost?
All my classes are done by a donation. I don't believe in charging large amounts for my classes, even though people charge for circles, $50, $100, $200 a person. The point for me is to share with all of you. The point for me when I do my classes is to open up the door to the divine for all of you, to see what the world is like, maybe a little bit different than you think, and to do it with integrity. And so doing that, if you however much you want to throw in the basket, we don't check who does what, so if you have $1, throw $1 in. If you have 100, throw 100. That's the way it goes. So our classes are always by donation. As
the old thing goes, please put a penny in the medium's hat. If you haven't got a penny, then a half penny will do. If you haven't got a half penny, then God bless you.
So I just got a question on the screen, and I don't usually do this, but today I can see the questions. Somebody said that their dog just went over the Rainbow Bridge, and is she okay? And I want to tell you that having lost my little dog suddenly, it was one of the most traumatic things that ever happened to me, and I never understood the pain that everyone went through. I sympathized with it, but I didn't have a personal experience of it. So, Sharon, I'm so sorry for you losing your dog. And
God bless Sharon.
God bless you. And we poor Dave, he works part-time stocking, guess what, the dog aisle, the pet aisle. And he's been looking at all the pet things for the last 8 weeks since we lost Bobby, and it's breaking his heart. So is she okay? The answer is absolutely. Outside the gates of heaven, when they talk about the Rainbow Bridge, is a beautiful garden. And that garden is where a lot of souls go to rest up, especially after they've had an illness, or if they're children, to wait until they can be reunited with their parents, or they can ease into it, because sometimes, especially in war, a parent will say, stay there, and then the child gets afraid because the angel comes and gets them, and they're not staying there, and they think maybe they did something wrong. So they go to this garden, and guess who's in the garden? Your beautiful pets are in the garden. And the pets guide the children, they play with them, they soften them, they help them to feel better and to know love, and the children trust the animals. And so then finally the children allow the angels to take them into the first level of heaven, and that's what dogs and cats and birds and snakes and everybody does. That is a beautiful four-legged, one-legged, no-legged pet that's touched a human's heart. So don't worry, Sharon, your dog is going to be there and going to be trained and going to be really helpful in helping all these souls get to heaven. So she's okay.
God bless, Sharon.
Alrighty, so.
Alrighty, well, we're doing cherub readings,
Hi, Sonia.
Amy. We're going to be doing readings for the kids.
We are. So today, the idea is that you get information ahead of time. Hi, Kimber. Hi, Sandy. That we get this information so that you can use it as a nana, as a mother, as a grandmother, grandfather. So you can use it to help your children to be the best that they can be, because every soul that's born has tremendous potential. I can't stress that enough. Every soul is valuable, and we don't actually in our human culture we still have that slave mentality where we don't really believe that every soul is valuable. But I'm going to tell you, every time we don't believe that, or every time we don't treat a soul with love and respect, our world loses something. So this is going to really help, and so you're going to be able to do your best. And that's one of our babies you're hearing. Here, come here, let me take Abby. This is, now, isn't this appropriate?
I want to remind everybody.
This is Abby. Say hi, Abby.
Everybody know real quick, as you're looking at the cute kitten, that we're going to be stretching this reading special here over 2 weeks, 2 shows. So feel free, if you haven't gotten your information in yet. Of course, it's your name, of course.
Go ahead.
Your child's name, star sign, and location.
Okay.
We only use first names. But if we don't get to you this week, feel free to go ahead and add that to the comments section here as you're watching this. And if we don't get you tonight, we'll get you next week.
We will, because we had so many requests. We're stretching this out to 2 weeks. And so we'll be able to handle everybody. And once again, please feel free to share with your friends, and we're going to do the best we can to get absolutely everybody in the next 2 weeks. Bye, sweetie.
Okay.
Here, Daddy Dave.
Yo. All right.
Okay, we don't know.
Bye, everybody.
We don't know where Trevor is.
Trevor's down below.
Okay. So that's our alpha female kitten. And a black cat at that. I mean, how about that? And you know what? Here's the cool thing. So I'm doing readings, and she jumped up on my lap and pushed the cards with her paw. And I looked at the cards, and they were exactly the ones I would have picked out. So we're going to see if I can train her. I mean, it might have been a one-time thing. Oh, look. Wait. Here's Trevor.
There's Trevor.
There's Trevor, her brother. So Abby is a special, she's a special black cat, what can you say? And Trevor is, you know, a galoot. Every black cat needs a galoot. You're my galoot, Dave.
Duh. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Duh. Let's do some readings now, Amy.
Duh. Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, Annie.
Annie. Oh,
Annie has some offspring named. Do I do one at a time, or do
One at a time.
One at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. First for Annie, we have one of her offspring is named Josie.
Josie.
January 18th, 1990.
Okay. Josie. All right. So, for Josie, even though Josie's like 27, okay, one of the things that Josie might have trouble with is getting things from point A to point B. So this is the homework card. Of course, all my cards are backwards. But in an older child, what it means is they have to pay attention to detail. They can have a dream, but a dream takes work. So that's one of the things that Josie might not exactly know. So you can help Josie get through pieces of the work to have her dreams come true. So it doesn't help to yell, but it does help to lay it out so she can do it. For instance, if she wants to have a business, the work is that she has to have a business plan. So you can download a rudimentary business plan from Microsoft, and then give her the business plan and say, let's sit down and talk about it. So she needs a little help in focusing on the homework. Secondly, she needs to be with family. She might think that she wants to be free of her family. She might think that she doesn't want to be with everybody. But the truth of the matter is her strength lays in her connection to you and to her family. And then lastly, this sometimes can lead to mental agitation. She's not sleeping, so she needs to rest and sleep. And you're probably going to say, well, that's going to be impossible, or she's in bed all the time, one of the two. But the problem is that she's not getting rest. So that's important. So there is an app which I always talk about. It's a free one. It's called Om, O-M-V-A-N-A, Omvana. And there's a beautiful meditation on there called the 6-phase meditation. And you don't have to do it perfectly. Just plug it in and listen to it and do it every day for like 7 days. And one of the benefits, whether or not you do it perfectly, is you're going to start sleeping really well. So you can give her that gift of having her download the app, and then she's going to come into her own. Okay, take care. All right, next.
Looks so cool with Black Cat in your lap as you're doing readings. I love
I
it.
know. What can I say?
All right, Annie's other offspring is named Daniel.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Oops, it was just Alexa.
She's not sure about that.
Okay, now.
All right, next up we have
Daniel.
Daniel, October 3rd, 1980.
Okay.
Now, these are just two of Annie's kids.
2, okay. Because we're asking to just do 2 at a time, then you can come back and you can do another 2.
And she
So-
doesn't have a vocation, but
That's okay. I know it comes from Annie's energy. So Daniel needs to imagine himself happy. When this card comes up, the problem is that oftentimes the person, the child, is in a funk. Is pushing themselves too hard, or is avoiding responsibility. So they don't even know what it is that would make them happy. What is it that they need? What is it that is going to bring them all the joy in their world? So he needs to work with you to imagine what would make you happy. So a good question for him is, hey, what makes you happy? And then start a list. As a mother, oftentimes you get it totally wrong. So you might start asking friends or a wife or a girlfriend or even his child, what makes Daddy happy? And then make this little list. I actually have always tried to give my children things that make them happy. And I'm often wrong. And I've started to now ask, what is it exactly that you need? What can I do for you? So that's what you want to ask for Daniel. Next, he needs to be more gentle. He may not understand his own strength, and so he needs to practice gentleness. I'll tell you, you don't understand gentleness until you've got 2 little kittens in your lap. So he may need the love of an animal or a pet of some kind, so he can have that gentleness come out. And then lastly, he needs to realize that everybody has feelings. I get this really strong feeling that he wants to suppress his feelings. He doesn't understand that his feelings are normal and natural, and that it's okay to have feelings. So there you go, Annie. Take care.
all right. Thank you very much, Annie. We appreciate it. Karen and her offspring is next. Karen's son, Joe.
Okay.
November 13th, 1995. I hope that's a son. It could be a grandkid. I'm not sure. But
Okay.
offspring, Joe. November 13th, 1995.
Okay.
Parts unknown, unfortunately.
So, in this case, since we're using cards for littler children, that's okay. But Joe may not have shared with you about bullies in his life, or he may have. It may have been a theme. I think one of the hardest things any parent can go through is when your children becomes the victim of bullies. So it feels as if Joe had that in his life. He may or may not have shared. When you say tell an adult, what it means is give your child the ability to make a plan and then offer to help your child with that plan. If you storm in and try to save the child, you don't give them any techniques to use, and I think that's probably what happened to Joe. So Joe needs to understand that he has to, even now, share, and everything is going to be okay. And then, you know what I keep seeing Joe is littler. Was that Karen's birthday, maybe? It's a weird feeling.
I don't know.
Okay, well, whatever. The next one is have faith in the miracles of God. So there's never a time, it's never too late. It doesn't make a difference if your child is 2 or your child is 22. Every once in a while to just share a sunset or a sunrise or a kitten and see the miracle of life together. So that's one of the things you can do. And then lastly, be able to say, and this is the truth, everything will be okay. Everything is going to be okay. It might not feel okay right now, it might not look okay right now, but eventually it's going to be just fine and life is going to move on. Okay, next.
All right, thank you very much, Karen.
Marcia. Okay.
All right, next up we have Lisa. We got 2 from Lisa, 2 offspring. Her first one is Herbie.
Okay.
September 22nd, 2014.
A little one. Okay. Herbie needs to learn to share. and being like 3, it's a time when it can be really difficult. But it says sharing makes everything more fun. So those, I was just recently playing ball with my 4-year-old granddaughter. It's a big beach ball. And she was kicking it around and everything. I said, kick it to me. And so she did, and then I kicked it over to her, and then she kicked it back to me. And we were laughing hysterically and having such a good time. I'm going to tell you, it was just kicking a ball. There was nothing special about it, except it was sharing. We were sharing the energy. We were laughing with each other. It was 2 people doing things together. So that's one of the things you can do with Herbie. Next, it looks like Herbie might have some allergies. It's eating on the food chain a lot lower, eating healthful food. It doesn't necessarily mean that they can't have a cupcake or something like that, but it's the less processed foods. Herbie will be a little bit sensitive to chemicals and things like that that might be in processed food. And it's not that eventually he'll get over it and be able to be with everybody else and do what everybody else does, good or not. But right now you want to be a little careful with him because it can set off different moods. And then the last thing is you have to tell him, because he's a natural worrier. And some children, they're just like that. They come into the world and they're worried about the family and they want to take over and be responsible. Don't let him do that. You're the adult. He is not the adult. Cute as it is that he seems to think he's the adult, you have to say, this isn't your problem. Just go out and have fun. Everything is going to be fine. So don't let him worry. No need to worry. Okay, take care.
All right, there you go, Herbie. Lisa's other offspring is Leo.
Okay.
October 22nd, 2006. Herbie's older brother.
Herbie and Leo. Okay, for Leo, it looks like Leo tends to worry. So it's important to let Leo know that there is nothing to fear. And you might say, whoa, wait a minute, this world is a crazy place. There is things to fear. No. Honestly, I could sit here and bite my nails and be a crazy person about potential nuclear holocaust or Korea bombing Alaska or, all those crazy things. But to tell you the truth, that's not happening right now. And fear eats your soul and takes away the present. So there's nothing to fear because you're in the present right now and nothing bad is happening in the present. It might happen tomorrow, but that's not your problem.
Except fear itself.
Nothing to fear except fear itself, right? So nothing to fear. It's a good thing to actually say those words. Next, love and value yourself. That's not just a child thing, that's all of us, right? But to be able to say, hey, to say, you're really special, this and this happened, how does that make you feel? In order to get someone to value themselves, they have to be in touch with their feelings. And so it's very good to teach a child early on to be in touch with their feelings. So in other words, the child got a good grade. You don't say, oh, I'm so proud of you. Here's $10 for your A, or 50 or 20 or 2, whatever you have. What you say is, wow, an A, how does that make you feel? And then the child goes, good. I feel really good. And that's, hey, way to go. If you ever have any problem, you let me know, because I know you got a plan, and you let me know how I can be of help, and I'll always be there for you. See how that works? Yay. And then he needs a pet. So if he doesn't have a pet, he needs to spend some time with his pets. If he has a pet that he ignores or doesn't pay attention to, he's got to walk the pet or take him out or do something with him. If you don't have a pet, he can, well, if you live close, he can come over here and play with the cats. But he needs to spend some time with animals, because that'll really soften him and make him feel better. Okay, take care.
All right. Speaking of pets, I'm jealous.
Oh, because both cats are in my lap.
Let's see if I can do this without messing it up.
Okay, let's see.
Tell me when we can see.
Go, 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 go. There's the 2 kitties.
They ignore me.
Well, that's because I'm the Earth Mother, honey.
There you go.
There you go.
And you have a fluffy lap.
Oh, you're going to get it.
Hey. Oh, no.
Hi, Danielle. Hi, Julie.
All right. Joanne's kids are next.
Okay.
Let's start off with Joey, December 14th, 2007.
Okay, Joey. All right, we have, don't let others make you feel bad. So Joey might be sensitive. He might, not so much, I don't get that he is bullied, but I get that he doesn't like when other kids are bullied. So when he's letting the other kids make him feel bad. So what he needs to learn to do is make a choice. He can be invisible, not interfere, or he can step up to the plate and say, I don't like the way this is happening. It's a hard one, isn't it? This is a funny thing, but I see him as a soldier in the future, someone who is very brave and helping others. So he might have that kind of military or wanting to take care of other type of attitude. And so he needs to learn how to do it in the right way, so you can help him with that. Next is, of course, believe in yourself, because in order to step up and help others, you have to really believe in yourself. I know, because as a healer, sometimes I have not believed in myself. And no miracles happen unless you believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself and that connection with God. And then lastly, interestingly enough, with the military background and everything, he's a wonderful artist. So he has that ability to express himself through artwork. I guess I'm just trying to think, how does that fit in? Where in the military do you have people who do artwork? But you know what you do? You have people who do recruiting artwork. You have people who plan out marketing strategies to market to people in other countries about what we're doing. So he may be a soldier, but he may be a soldier that
Who was the
war.
guy who was famous, had the cartoon in Stars and Stripes? It wasn't Ernie Pyle, was it?
I don't remember. I don't know, but it is a
cartoonist
thing.
too. So.
Yeah, it is a thing that can really change the way things go. If you ever see all those World War II posters, they're pretty amazing. Okay, hello, Melissa. All right.
I want you to come to Mediumship Class Friday.
I want you to want me.
No. Don't forget, everybody, if you're just joining us, Mediumship Class Friday night, 7 o'clock here at the Intuitive Angel, 2343 Douglas Road here in Oswego. It's the class you've been waiting for.
Phone number.
Yeah, 630-554-5040 is the phone number to call if you have trouble getting here. And again, it's at 7 o'clock, no charge for the class, and mediumship and psychic development class leads to a medium circle. That's right. Some people also know it as a seance. We're going to put the energy together and talk to those past, and hopefully somebody we know.
Hopefully.
And it would be really cool.
Actually, I know this sounds really funny, but they've been coming ever since I announced it, so they're like in line. So, there's a guy named Mike, a guy named Joey. it's going to be really interesting, let me tell you.
That's right. So if you do come, we're going to limit it to, what did you say, about 15 people in the circle itself, but everybody else can observe.
Can observe on the outside.
Or if you feel uncomfortable being in the circle, of course you can observe, no problem.
No problem.
There's no charge for this. It's strictly by donation. If you can't give much, don't give much. But if you can give more, dig deep.
Thank you, Dave.
All righty. Well, thank you very much, Amy.
Okay.
All right. So again, that's Friday, 7 o'clock, right here, 2343 Douglas Road in Oswego for the big seance. You got to come. Okay. Next up is Joanne's other offspring. How about Carter? January 27th, 2017. He's a newbie.
Wow, little baby Carter. Well, little baby Carter needs to take naps. Little baby Carter might not want to take naps, but one of the things to remember, there was a technique in child raising that said you want to give kids mobiles and colorful things and all kinds of things to stimulate their creativity and their imagination. But with little Carter, he needs quiet time, and the less stimulation he has during that time, the better, because he is someone who has a lot of intuitive energy. So that's something to understand, because that intuitive energy makes him more agitated than most people. He's at a percentage, which some of you may know because you've heard me lecture, but he's at like about a 20% of seeing the things around him, where most people are like at 2. So it's not that he's bad or agitated or he has anything wrong with him. He's just one of the new children. The quietest place you can put anybody is in a corner. That's why we put children in corners, because the joining of 2 planes, it has the least stimulation. So that corner in back of me is the least stimulation that there can possibly be, even though there's wallpaper. So in a place where he's facing a corner, to just have him be quiet, just have some quiet time, would be very good for him. I'd say 5-6 times a day at least. And next, right now is not too young, because he has a unique opportunity, he has an ability to understand you. Talk to him about dreams coming true, how he's your dream baby, how you're so happy that he came to join the family. I swear to God he's going to understand. So talk to him about dreams. And then lastly, even now it's not too late, not too early, to do what a wonderful person he is. How glad you are that he's here. What a difference he's going to make in the lives of everyone around, including the family. And just start telling him, because he really is going to make that difference. Okay, take care.
All righty. Well, there you go, Joanne. Hey, Jennifer's next.
Okay.
Again, I want to remind everybody, because Jennifer was concerned. I saw a note from her over last week's show. She was like, I don't think you got to me. I think she was one of the first ones. So just know, everybody, that, again, in the comments section below the video portion that you're looking at, you're welcome to add your own entries. Please include a location if you can. That helps with the triangulation. But feel free to do that. But we're not going to get to everybody tonight. We're stretching this out, in case you haven't heard. We're stretching this out over 2 weeks. So we're going to do as many as we can tonight, and then just get the rest next week.
And if you want to add someone in, we'll do our best to get to everybody.
Yeah, that's cool. Just please don't double up. That's all we ask.
That's all we ask.
All righty, Jennifer. Ashley, that could be a boy or a girl, couldn't it?
I think it's usually a girl.
Usually a girl, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get a girl feeling.
Except for Ashley Longworth.
Okay, Dave.
That was the ladies
Hi there.
on the Baltons. Anyway, Ashley.
He's just full of this, like, trivia.
Right, I'm telling you, useless knowledge. I've got lots of it.
It's good.
Ashley was born March 3rd, 2000.
Okay, Ashley. Ashley's at that age. Okay. Ashley has to trust her feelings. It's really important, because she's facing a situation where other people are trying to push her into things that she doesn't feel are necessarily right, but she's afraid to not go along with the crowd. So you have to tell her that you're capable of making good decisions, Ashley. Lecturing her will push her more towards the people who are wanting her to do things that aren't ecological for her. So telling her that she knows, the angels tell that to me all the time. They'll say, okay, go do this. And I'll say, well, what do you want me to say? And they'll say, you know. I hate that. So Ashley's going to hate it, but that's okay. So long as she knows that you trust her to trust her feelings, everything is going to be okay. And then oddly, she needs to drink fresh water. What did they say where she is? What the location?
No.
Okay, in some locations in the United States, unfortunately, the groundwater has been polluted. So some people, we share a lot of DNA with rats, and they can survive no matter what. But Ashley has a real intolerance to polluted water. So drinking pure water, my favorite is LIF, life water, and it's all one word. It's really, really, really good. It's even hard to find right now. But if she were to drink better water, it might solve a lot of her emotional difficulties. And then the last thing isn't this the thing you just want to tell a teenager, right? Make new friends. So sometimes you can facilitate it by getting them involved in something. I actually, when I was that age, got a job. So, and then I made a lot of new friends. So something that's going to change up the energy for her so she's going to be able to make new friends, and all will be well with Ashley. Okay, take care.
All righty, there you go, Jennifer and Ashley. All right, now leave it up to Margarita. She brings us triplets.
Whoa, okay, Margarita, we'll do it.
Joshua, Juliana, and Sayuli.
Okay.
Sayuli. Sayuli.
Okay.
All right, okay.
All the same birthday?
Yeah, well, they're triplets. Same birthday. June 14th, 2007 in Oswego, Illinois.
All right.
You want to do them all three at the same time?
I will do them each individually, even though they're going to share some.
Okay, we'll start off with Joshua then.
Okay. Joshua needs to share how he feels. He needs to be able to tell God, not his mom, but he needs to be able to say prayers. As a matter of fact, my book, Prayers in Small Segments on Faith, has a number of prayers for a child to learn. So he needs to be able to tell God and the angels. So it's a secret. Prayers in Small Segments on Faith. Okay. He needs to be able to tell God and the angels how he's feeling and know that it's private. Next, he needs to listen to the messages. So of the three, he's the one that's probably more intuitive. And then when he does get a message, he needs to speak up and tell the truth. I see that he might have a lot of colds and respiratory things because he doesn't like to step into a zone of discomfort. So he needs to be able to speak up. So you have to encourage himself to share, encourage him to share. So who's the next triplet?
The next triplet is Juliana.
Okay, Juliana. Juliana is your warrior child. So even though they're all together and have the same birthdays, each one comes in with different energy and different talents. So Juliana has courage and strength. She's the one who could lead everybody to victory. She needs a true friend because she has a little trouble in keeping in touch with her feelings. And she needs also to understand that sensitivity, so in her brother, the sensitivity is not a weakness. She needs to know that sensitivity is a gift. And you can just tell her that, look, sensitivity is a gift. And so if you pay attention, you're going to learn a lot of things and you can use it in war. All right, and then who's the last one?
Geez, Amy.
Sorry.
Yeah, take it easy on the guys, Juliana.
Okay, Juliana, be good.
All right, Sayuli.
Okay, one step at a time. That's your dreamer child, your child who wants to not do their homework, the child who wants to step into what they're dreaming about and not do any work. So one step at a time is what you have to tell that child. Next is your angels are always with you. So if you're afraid of the steps, your angels will take care of it. I myself I'm going to be booting up a new laptop, and I have put it off for the last 8 weeks because I just don't want to deal with it. But I actually finally just asked my angels, please help me, and I plugged it in, it's charged up, and I'm going to do it tomorrow. There you have it. So the same thing with this little one. And the last one, get in contact with what makes you feel happy. because sometimes you don't want to share. So this is your child who doesn't like to share at all. So you have to kind of get them to get in contact with themselves and know what makes them happy so that you can move them in that direction. Okay, Margarita, take care.
All right. Thanks, Margarita, for the
That was
wonderful...
interesting because they did, honestly, they complement each other. So nobody's exactly alike, and everybody is there for each other. So what a good thing.
All right. Well, Marcia's got some older kids.
Okay, Marcia.
Out in Lindenhurst, Illinois. There's Derrick, November 19th, 1974.
Okay. Who does now? What's the name?
Derrick.
Derrick. Who does Derrick enjoy being with? It might be that Derrick tends to be too much of a workaholic or not want to have a private or have a life that doesn't have to do with things that are more regimented. So one of the questions that was one of the hardest ones for me to answer is if I could be with anybody in the world, past or present, who would I want to sit with? What would be the, who would I want to be with? And you know what? I drew a complete and total blank. All these wonderful people out there, Mahatma Gandhi, I mean, oh my God, this is so funny because when it happened, I was deep into meditation and I chose Hitler.
What?
I know, isn't that just really crazy? But I think there must have been a time before things went south. There was a pivotal time there. He was an artist. He was madder than a hatter, but I don't know. There was like some little boy in there. It was just really weird. So when you talk to him, ask him that question. Tell him my story, how crazy I was. I actually learned a lot. I learned how people can get depressed, how that depression and oppression can cause people to hurt many, many others. It taught me to be really careful about what I do and what I say, and to be nourishing and to listen. So see, it worked out okay. So who would he want to be with? Next, he's a dreamer. So he needs to start paying attention to his dreams. He may share with you, Marcia, but he may not. It just depends. You want to pull it out because his dreams are important. It might lead you down a different path. And so you might be surprised. He may be discouraging to you about doing things, but on the other hand, you know you have him because he has the same dreams you do. And then lastly, he has to not be afraid to wish. He's afraid that if he makes a wish and it doesn't come true, he'll be disappointed. But you know what? I found that wishing is like breathing, and wishing every day makes you a happy person. So teach him how to wish. He's not too old. All right.
All right, next up we have Ryan from Shorewood, Illinois, September 3rd, 1977.
And this is Marcia's son too?
Yes.
Okay, so Ryan. Oh, well, it says that Ryan has spiritual gifts. He sees energy, feels energy, and that even if he doesn't share right now, he does have those. So he is going to, you might want to try talking to him about it, even though he might not want to talk to you. Next is he needs to be outside. It's very important for him to be outside. He needs to be outdoors. So if he has an office job or something, it's not going to work. He needs to get away as much as humanly possible. And then lastly, he needs to call on the angels. Oops, that was a tail. That was a kitty tail that just flashed in front of the camera. Okay, so he needs to call upon the angels. Now, it may be a little bit difficult. Would you move him away, honey, because he's blocking, his tail blocks the camera. Okay, well, Marcia, he's your son. He knows about angels. And calling on them and letting them be part of his life is important. If he listens, he listens. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But you can call on them for him. Okay, all right, take care.
All right, there you go, Marcia. Thank you very much.
Wasn't that funny?
And Trevor just added his 2 cents.
He did.
He basically said, hey, Ryan, chill out, bro. Okay. Next up, we have Susan and her offspring. First of all, we have Katie, March 21st, 1984.
Okay, Katie needs to learn to ask for help. Katie, sometimes when this card comes up in the readings I've been doing for the last couple weeks getting ready, what it meant was that there was a secret sorrow or something that was, thank you, I just got feedback from Marcia. Asking for help can be very hard for her, and so it's okay to reach out and say, how may I help you? And see if, what part can I play in what you're doing? What can I do? And then have her make the plan, though. Don't you make the plan. And next is, she needs to learn to be in a prayerful state. Many of us, including myself, I was a child of the 60s, so I did not raise my children with any particular religion. I was my family was very strict Catholics, and I rebelled. And I rebelled by not doing anything. I baptized my children, but that was about it. So my children didn't know how to pray, and when I went into having difficult times in my life, it was prayer that saved me. So she needs to be able to understand that praying isn't religion and praying isn't weakness. Praying is the gift we have as human beings to connect with something bigger than ourselves and feel loved and supported. And then lastly...
Amy, that was beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Lastly, she has angel lights around her, which means she's a child of the angels. Angel lights are really special. You can see them. Trudy's Weird Things is her website. She often listens here. She does a lot of photographing of orbs. So oftentimes orbs are actually angelic energy or angels coming in. It's a little bit different than we think it, but she is a child of the angels, so she's your angelic one, but it doesn't mean that she's always happy. Okay, take care. All right.
All right, there you go, Katie. And Susan's other child is Kevin, the younger brother, June 18th, 1987.
Ooh, I remember. Do you remember being 30, Dave?
Almost. It was during the 80s, right?
Well, for me,
It was very foggy era for me.
Oh, okay. Well, I was in like let's see, 70s that's how old I was. So we didn't get to be foggy. It wasn't until later we got foggy. But I remember being 30 and thinking I was invincible, how cool it was. So 30 is a really good age. One of the most important things in this child is family. It's incredibly important because the influence that they can have on their family, on their loved ones, on their own children is profound. And so they need to be able to be around as much as possible. So if they try to isolate themselves, just tell them no, they can't do that. Okay, next, you are special. Letting them know that they are an important part of your world, an important part of your family's world, even at 30 is really something. You mean something to me. Well, I'll tell a quick story. I was out working with indigenous people, and I happened upon a group of people where a young man had just murdered his grandmother, and I was very traumatized by that because I thought that I was going to step into something where they were going to torture him or kill him or something like that. But instead, all the people sat around in a circle, and he sat in the middle of the circle on the ground. And every single one of the people in the circle, and there was probably like about 100, the whole village was there, told stories about what a good thing that he had done in what good he had brought into their hearts, things that made them smile, things that made them laugh. And they brought out his love for himself, even though he had stepped down the wrong path and had done something terrible, until finally he not only confessed, but was adamantly and truly sorry, And then that was it. There was no more punishment for him, because it was the deep, truthful apology that came from his heart, wrenching from his heart, that was not the punishment, but the getting rid of the guilt and the negative energy of what he had done. It was an amazing experience. So it's not that he's murdered somebody, but he has to know that he's special. Okay. And then lastly, everybody has a place. We're all different. You don't have to be like your brother or your sister or your father or your mother or your grandfather. Every single one of us has a gift from God that we can share. And so you have to tell them. It's important. Okay, take care.
All right.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Susan, Katie, and Kevin. Lori's next. Lori has a son named Andrew.
Okay.
September 20th, 1996. He's from Oswego, Illinois.
Okay, let's see.
Garden spot of Illinois.
Andrew, and Andrew's like that age of 21. Oh my gosh. Andrew has always, I think, had a problem. It's his, who do you enjoy being with? I get for some reason, I see a monk, okay? So I get the feeling that Andrew enjoys helping others. So the problem is that sometimes when you're always helping others, you don't realize that you need help, that you need people who are elevated to elevate you so that you'll have energy to be able to give to others. It's something I often forget myself. It's like the healer has to go to groups and be healed as well as heal others. So he has to remember that. He has to educate himself up so he can help people who are down. Lastly, or nextly, he has to pay attention to his dreams. So if he dreams of being a psychologist or dreams of helping in some way others, he has to ask, you know what, in your dreams you can ask what the path is. What do we do next? It's very, very important. So tell him in his dreams to see what is the next step. So every morning I wake up and I say, "Cat, get out of my face." No, I wake up and I say, what do I do today to be the best possible citizen of the world? What do I do today to be the best possible help in God's world? And then the dreams come. So I'm always told by the angels and by the spirits exactly what to do. Mostly I do it, and when I do, I feel much better, and so will he. And then lastly, it's okay to wish. It's okay to be wild and crazy and want to be something really special. It's okay to wish to be rich or wish to be good or wish to have the most beautiful girlfriend. It's okay. So wishing is a good thing, and it's always good to teach your children to wish. All right.
All righty, and thank you there, Lori and Andrew. And got a cool message here, Amy. Back to Marcia and the kids. From Marcia, she says, Derrick, spot on. Ryan, spot on. Ryan loves the outdoors, and if left inside too long, gets cranky.
Woo! I hit it. I like that. Yay. Thank you, Marcia. Hi, Trevor.
Okay, next up we have Pat. No, Pat has another, he was doing something else. Okay.
Okay.
Ute.
Okay, Ute.
I would imagine this is a grandchild, Landon.
Okay.
July 17th. Happy birthday, Landon. 2012.
Okay. Landon, I think Ute knows that Landon is special. It's important. Hello, Danielle. It's important to know. I was talking earlier in the show about reincarnations that are close under the skin. So Landon has flashes and memories of things that happened to him in what I can only say is the old country. Many countries suffered horrific wars. They suffered decades of not safe. We've been very lucky here in the United States. But you're Landon, right? Is that his name?
Yes.
Okay. He has memories of not being safe, so he has to know that there is nothing to fear. The angel said he might even, if you went into his bedroom, he might even be stashing food. If nothing else, he'll be a great survivalist. He has to know that today, so you always want to phrase it, today there is nothing to fear. And most likely tomorrow there won't be, and most likely the day after that. And that's enough. So he just needs to know that and repeat it again and again, because honestly, when fear rules your life, it's not a very good life. So he has to have a little help with that. He will feel better if he spends time with pets. So the animals and things give him a groundedness. And so he's going to, pets are good. And once again, if it's not his own pets, if his mommy and daddy don't want him to have pets, any kind of connection with animals, even most of the shelters now, you can spend a Saturday and go out and hold kittens and walk dogs and things like that. It's a really wonderful, grounded things to do. And then lastly, sharing makes everything more fun. So the pet thing and sharing the energy, being able to be kind to some animals that need your help. Dave and I have been looking for a dog, and we want our little happy family. We have not found one yet, but we're working on it, and we have petted, hugged, walked many, many dogs. And I'll tell you, on my list of things to do is to volunteer to help some of those wonderful people who rescue animals. So get them out there to a shelter. Okay, take care.
All right, thanks a lot, Ute. All right, Rosa's next.
Okay.
She has 2 offspring. First of all, there's Alicia. Now, they're not saying if these are grandkids or kids, so I'm just, offspring is offspring, right? Alicia is September 4th, 2002.
Okay, Alicia is sensitive. Sensitivity is a gift. It's not something to be ashamed of. So you have to tell her sensitivity is something that can be used to help others, and that she shouldn't ever be ashamed of being sensitive about things. And then when she is sensitive about things, psychics are, thank you for the hearts, everyone. So psychics are sensitives. As a matter of fact, it used to be that sensitive and psychic was used in the same breath. It's important for her, when she gets a feeling, to understand the why of the feeling. So there's the old reporter thing, who, what, where, when, and why. So if she gets a feeling, you can ask her, what's this about? Who is it about? Where is it happening right now? Get her into that mode, and maybe one day she'll become a great writer. Okay, next, the angels are always with her. Children have less trouble than adults believing in angels and fairies and things, so getting her some angel books explaining about angels, and the more user-friendly kind of angels, the little cherubs and things like that, and how they're there to help us. I think she'll take right to it, because her world is fantastical, and that's good. Okay, and then lastly, she's another one who might have some food sensitivities. I think we have to be careful about what exactly does healthful mean. In her case, actually, seeds, I don't know how you're going to get a kid to eat seeds, but seeds is like pumpkin seeds and things like that, maybe pumpkin seed butter or something like that, would be very good for her. They would have, it would have nutrients that would help her serotonin and dopamine levels, because when you're a sensitive, sometimes it gets on your nerves. So the more things you can do to balance her out, the better. Okay, take care.
All right, there you go, Rosa and Alicia. Thank you.
Okay, who's next?
All righty. We have, we have Joel.
Okay.
From Rosa. Again, it would be October 16th, 2003.
Okay, Rosa.
Oh, and they're from Montgomery, by the way.
Hi, Rosa from Montgomery. October 16th. Okay. 2003?
Yes.
Okay, so 14. He's a worrier. You know, let's see. Oh, it does go with it. How about that? I saw him with horses. He may or may not have expressed. I mean, in Montgomery, we don't really think about horses that much. But here, I'm in the very southern tip of Oswego, and the lady just down the way has horses, and the lady down the way across the street has horses, and I see horses through my backyard all the time. So for him, horses are very stabilizing. So it might be good to introduce him to riding, or say, have you ever been interested in riding? There's plenty of stables in the area. You might not have noticed them, but they're there. Horses, they're special. They heal, and he could really use that energy. Next, there may be some people in his life who are acting badly. It says, tell an adult about bullies. Bullies come in all shapes and sizes, so it's not necessarily that the bully is hurting him personally or putting him down. But one of the things that may be happening is that people may be being inappropriate with him. And so he needs to be able to sit down and discuss that. How are people acting around you? How do you feel? And it's okay to share how you feel, because how you feel is the tick-tock of life, right? And everybody has the right to feel however they feel. And once it's out, then you can kind of dust your hands of it and move on. And then here is the wonderful thing. He has the ability to create miracles. So it's have faith in God's miracles. As he grows in the next couple of years, he's going to see that amazing things are going to be happening around him, and that there is a strong spiritual energy that's going to be helping him for the rest of his life. Okay, take care.
All right, Rosa's got, she put down Montgomery. Okay.
Okay.
All righty, next up, let's see. Oh, we have Carrie.
Okay.
All right, and she has two. First one is Madison.
Okay.
That would be May 30th, 2001.
Okay.
Out in Mechanicsville, Virginia.
Good. Okay. Madison, that wonderful age of 16, I would not want to be 16 again. Everything is going to be okay. Madison may be nervous about the world we adults have created. She may be a little advanced in that matter, blaming us for everything that's going bad in the world. So what she needs to know is it's natural. Evolution is natural. We see what's happening in the world, like global warming and things like that. But it's an opportunity for us to create change. It's an opportunity for us to move forward, not to be angry. So she has to know that the things that are making her upset, she needs to know that everything will be okay. She just needs to make a list and tick them off one at a time, and that it's people like her in the next few years who are going to change the world. Next, she has to imagine what it would be like to be happy. So she probably has, would be called moody, and in a good way, like in a legal kind of angry way. But what is it? How would you relax? What would you do? What would make you happy instead of twisting you up? For some reason, I'm seeing peacocks. I know that's funny, but if there's a zoo nearby, she might want to volunteer at the zoo. I think she has a natural ability to heal animals. And then oddly, the next card is Be Gentle, which is the little girl with the bunny. And so there's the warrior one where she needs to know everything is going to be okay, can be used to help animals. Veterinary work or helping animals or working at a shelter or working at a zoo would really, really be good for her. Okay, take care.
All right, thank you there for Madison. And next up, Hayden.
Okay.
Carrie's other offspring, March 25th. Oh, March 25th. You know, that's
2 days before your birthday.
4 days before my birthday. 2005.
Okay.
Also from Mechanicsville, Virginia.
What's his name again?
Hayden.
Okay, Hayden. Everybody has feelings. it's not a weakness to have feelings. And feelings are, everybody has the right to feel however it is they feel. We might say, you shouldn't feel bad about that, or you shouldn't feel that way. You shouldn't dislike your mother, but he has to know that the feelings that pass through him are just fine, and that you have feelings, you recognize them, and if you can't do anything about them, you put them up on a shelf and deal with them later. He has to understand that he doesn't suppress them, that he has to accept them. Next, before you get to where you're going, you have to show your work. I was terrible. I found when I moved just recently, I found all my old report cards. It was terrible because
We all had a good laugh.
Yeah, I got all really good grades, but not working up to potential, not doing your homework, not turning in anything, and I didn't. I just always knew all the answers. It was the weirdest damn thing. I never took books home. I never did anything. I just could pass all the tests with A's, but I never showed the work. That's a real deficit when you get older, because you have to be organized enough to take steps and to do the work. So it's important to help them take steps. To-do lists and checking them off and things like that is going to be really helpful, trust me. And then last, it's very important to get sleep. The kind of mind that this child has is one that's active all the time. So they need to be able to shut off their mind as well as rest their body. It's an important thing. And I think a lot of times people adults turn to drugs, sleeping pills and NyQuil, my favorite. There are ways to teach your body to rest. That app I always talk about, Omvana, it's an app you download to your iPhone or your Android, and then there's a 6-phase meditation. The only thing to remember is there's 3 music buttons at the bottom. Pick a music, listen to it. You don't have to get it right, but it'll teach them how to relax their body. It's really important. He has to be able to relax, and everything will be fine. Okay.
All right, there you go. Thank you, Carrie, Madison, and Hayden. Next up, let's see. We have, let me double check this. Not sure if this is the same Annie as before, but that's okay, because these are different kids. Because the other Annie said it was only 2 of her kids, but I don't know if this is the same Annie. Either way, we have twins from Flora, Illinois.
Again, twins. How cool is that?
Yeah, Kirby and Parker. Born, let's see, August 28th, 2000.
Okay, so
Let's do Kirby first.
Kirby is a dreamer. He has to...
But he's not the only one.
How's the song go, Dave?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. It's okay to be a dreamer as long as you have your twin who teaches you how to believe in yourself so you can make your dreams come true. I don't know, but the cards are telling me that these twins, if they're not identical, are special. They share a soul. That's very unusual, actually. So, the first one's name?
Kirby.
Kirby is the dreamer, and Parker is the one who helps Kirby to believe in himself. So that's really important. Next, Kirby is a wonderful person, and Parker is an artist. So the two of them go together. Parker can draw the feelings that Kirby has and get them out there in the open. So it's very rare that artists can work together. There's the Zhao brothers, if you ever want to look them up. They painted pictures tandem. So one of the brothers would paint something, the other one would paint something on it. Again, it's like very, very rare. But they're able to do things like that. And then lastly, don't make others feel bad. So that's Parker. And then Kirby is love and value yourself. So you see, they balance each other out. And that's what's very important. Oops. The cats want to get in the action. Okay, so these two are inseparable. They should do things together. It's okay to encourage them to do things together, and all will be well. They're going to make a really amazing team. Okay, take care.
All righty. Thank you, Annie, Parker, and Kirby. All right, next up we have Treva.
Treva.
All right. She has Nicholas, no birthday.
Annie, we just did you. Okay, Nicholas.
If it's the same Annie.
Well, an
We'll
Annie.
see. We'll see.
There's an Annie that just joined us.
All right. But Treva has Nicholas from Kansas City, Missouri. Oh, here we go. She added another thing to it. Kansas City, Missouri, January 29th, 1999, for Nicholas.
Okay. Nicholas has courage and strength. And he's only 18, so he's feeling his Wheaties, right?
That's a great age. It can be.
It can be because
You're discovering yourself.
yeah, and you're invincible. I was thinking back to being 18, actually, just the other day. Because as you get older, you kind of stop being so invincible. But I saw something that said somebody who's 90 is free. They're not, not that I'm 90, but I'm approaching, right? So you're free because your life, you don't care that much about everything. So I thought that was kind of nice. It made me feel better about aging, that my power will be unleashed. So watch it. When I'm 90, it's going to be incredible. So anyway, he is in this wonderful age where he has courage. But he has to learn that courage comes from being happy, from knowing what happiness is. So many of our military people, they have great courage, but then they don't know how to blow off steam. So it's like, what makes you happy? I remember one of my uncles used to build ships in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
It's so complicated and so hard, but the focus of doing it lightened his load, made him joyful, and then he would just give them away because once it was completed, he didn't care about them so much anymore. It was the focus of it. So that's what he needs, to figure out what makes him happy, and then, and this is not very popular right now, but speak up and always tell the truth. Now, the funny thing about truth is that truth is not necessarily what you think it is. So when you tell the truth, you say, I am feeling this, or I am seeing this, and you are in integrity when you say it. So that's what's so important. Not necessarily saying you're ugly, or, there are lots of truths in the world, but I think he's going to be able to see clearly and be able to be a beacon. So that's really good. Okay, take care.
All right, there you go, Treva and Nicholas. Thank you very much. Okay, next up. Well, I do want to remind everybody, if you're just joining us, don't forget about Friday's Mediumship Class, Mediumship and Psychic Development Class. I got to tell you, folks, it's the one you've been waiting for, the one you've been training for. It's going to be a medium circle, or otherwise known as a seance. And only friendly spirits allowed. If they're jerks, Amy kicks them out.
That's true.
And so we're going to limit the circle to about 15 people, but if we have more than that, it's no problem. You can observe, or if you don't want to participate in the circle, you can just sit back and observe and let somebody else in. Either way, it's going to be a great class. Fascinating.
Everything will be perfect.
Yeah, 2343 Douglas Road in Oswego, 7 o'clock Friday evening. The 19th. No, it's today's the 19th. It's the 21st.
21st.
Right.
Okay, good.
21st of July. And, of course, there's absolutely no charge. It's by donation only. If you can't bring anything, no problem. If you can bring something, dig deep. And we appreciate it so very much and look forward to seeing you Friday night at 7 o'clock for the mediumship class. And it's going to be a seance.
Okay.
Going to be cool, man.
It is going to be cool.
All righty. Next up on the readings, we have from Karen, our good friend Karen, out there in Yorkville, Illinois. She has two. First is her son Frank, born November 9th, 2011.
This is really cool because Frank hears messages. In this case, Frank has an incarnation that's close under the skin, which I said was relatively rare, but with my audience, I guess it happens a little more frequently than it does in the general public. Listen to the messages. They may or may not mean anything to you. You don't necessarily have to act immediately. It might be interesting to make a little book and say, like I always keep these kinds of little books around, and I write down the things that come into my mind and then look at them later. So you might write down Frankisms because in the future they might actually make sense. So listen to his messages. Next, his feelings, if he doesn't feel like sharing, he can tell his special angel how he feels about things. That would be not in a timeout, but in a special space without any without punishment involved. My grandson gets wound up, and so I'll say, just go sit in the chair. You can play with electronics or whatever, but take some time out and get a breath. So when he takes time out and get a breath, he should tell God and the angels how he's feeling about things. It's important. Hello, Danielle. A true friend listens to your feelings. So the true friend can be mommy, the true friend can be a stuffed animal, the true friend can be his sibling, but one of the things he needs to know is it's okay to share. All right, take care.
All righty, and thank you, Frank. Next up, we have Violet, December 2nd, 2014, again from Yorkville, Illinois.
Violet wants to fly. She does not want to take one step at a time. She wants to forge ahead fearlessly in everything, and so you have to kind of teach her how to follow the directions. I've just been in the move. I've been building furniture, and I tell you the one step at a time thing is really valuable. Otherwise, you have to unbuild it and start all over again. So the Violet needs to take one step at a time. That's important. Next, Violet needs to trust her feelings. So she might get a little agitated, but it's okay. She needs to express her feelings without crying or being snarky. So she needs to trust her feelings and be able to share those feelings in a positive way. And then lastly, Violet is another one of those people that needs to have a good quantity of fresh water. A person who helps me here was telling me about the kittens, and they said that kittens need to have food out at all times and lots of fresh water. Well, that's Violet too. Lots of fresh, healthy water, and she's going to be just fine. Okay, take care.
All right, well, there you go. Thank you there, Karen, Frank, and Violet.
Okay.
Josie's next. And let's see, from Clay City, Illinois. She has two children. First of all, Emerson.
Emerson.
That would be May 10th, 2010.
Okay, Emerson needs to make new friends. And there's a little kitty there. You know, when is the last time you made a new friend? Isn't that weird? I just thought about that.
About 3 months ago.
Okay, it's not easy, actually. As an adult, we tend to go around and around in circles, and we don't make new friends. I know when my mother, despite everything everybody says about assisted living, when my mother went into assisted living at like 89 years of age, for the first time in like 30 years, she actually made new friends. It really changed her. I mean, she lived for 6 more years, which was unbelievable, and it was the energy of the new friends. So it's the same thing with this little one, needs to make new friends. Next time, quiet time is important. So rush, do everything, lots of activities. With this child, not necessarily. Pens and paper and a craft and some quiet time building Legos, something like that, is really, really important, that kind of downtime. I know I'm going to say that there's some really pretty powerful intuitive energy, and I know myself when how long have we been here in the house? 7 weeks?
6 weeks. Actually.
6 weeks. This is the first week in 6 weeks that there hasn't been constant people over. There's still people, but it's calming down a little bit, and I'm seeing, well, maybe not the end. As I've said, I still got a garage full of boxes, but I'm able to take a few hours a day and just do quiet things. I'm able to start writing and doing the things I need to do, and I need to calm down. So your little one needs that quiet time. And then lastly, to ask for spiritual help. It's what keeps me centered. Angels, please help me. Angels, please help me with my pain. Angels, please help me to see that I can actually do it, that I can move and I can get everything organized and arranged. He needs that spiritual help all the time. Okay, just let him have it. All right, take care.
All right, there's Emerson, and next up we have Aliyah, December 7th, 2012.
Elijah?
Aylah.
Oh, Aliyah, that's really nice. I love that. Okay. Prayerfulness. There's prayers where you ask for things. Dear God, please give me a black kitty. Dear God, please give me a red bicycle. Dear God, I need a new car. Dear God, how do I pay the mortgage? You know, there's those kinds of prayers. But then there's the prayers where I am filled with light in this moment. I am so joyful to be who I am and breathe in all the energy around me. Thank you. That's a prayer too. So this little one needs to know those kinds of prayers. So you can help. Oftentimes those types of prayers are like poems. They'll come to you and you can help them. Okay, next, angel lights. Once again, Dave is laughing because now the kitty is in my bag, climbing over my shoulder, doing kitty things. The angels are actually going to come through, so if you see orbs in your house, this little one is a favorite of the angels, so you're going to see flashing lights and different things. So some kids are magical, and so this one is magical. And then lastly, he has a spiritual gift, or she has a spiritual gift of seeing energy, seeing spiritual beings. Don't make it too important. I can't stress that enough. The most important thing when you're a servant of God is to be humble. I actually, as an adult, had a hard time coming to that. Now I know, but I wish somebody had explained to me when I was little that I served instead of been special. So tell them that they serve, and that's a wonderful thing, how great it is to be able to have that gift. And that's what it's all about. It's not about being special. Okay, take care.
All right, there you go. Thank you, Josie, Aliyah, and Emerson.
Emerson.
Yeah, Donna's next. Her two children. First of all, we have Gabriella.
Okay.
That would be April 24th, 2013.
Okay.
From Chicago.
Okay. So, you know, Dave and I were just talking about this recently. When I was little, say around 5 or 6, my mother kicked me out of the house. That we would have some breakfast, and my mother would say the words, "Go play." Go outside. Go,
Same here.
Go. Yeah, and then we just had adventures. We built tree houses, and not safe tree houses. We put cardboard boxes up in a tree, and we organized ourselves, and we did all kinds of crazy things. Our imaginations went wild. But with my grandchildren, that doesn't happen. We know now that life is not safe, right? And so your little one needs to be outdoors. So that means that if you're not going to let the little one go outdoors by themselves, heaven forbid, you're going to have to make the time to be outdoors with them. And we've actually, my daughter-in-law now takes the time to sit outside sit outside and be there with the kids. They were just over swimming, and we sat in chairs by the pool and experienced it with them. And I actually think that's nice. I wish my mom, without criticizing me, okay, I say that, without criticizing me, was there to share. So we share, oh, look at that, good job, you floated, oh boy, that kind of a thing. So make sure that your little one gets outside. Next, teach the little one to call on the angels. The angels are all around them all the time. I will say that I can see Archangel Jophiel. Jophiel is the only angel that's both fully feminine and fully masculine. Artistic, loves the outdoors, loves plants and green energy. So you could call him Jojo, he doesn't care. And then that's the perfect invisible friend for your little ones. And then lastly, do the homework without stress. So in this kind of layout, it looks like your little one can put pressure on themselves. So homework is there so that you can have the special things you want in life. That's very, very important. And so you do the homework, and then the gift is that you get the gifts that you're looking for. Okay, take care.
All righty. So that's Gabriella.
That's Gabriella.
Donna's other child is David.
Okay.
It's a great name. July 28th, birthday coming up, Dave, 2014.
Well, he may be a little like you, Dave. It looks as
He's
if...
unbelievably cool.
Unbelievably restless.
Okay.
He needs to be able to sleep and rest. He what's that word? Hyperactive. But I think it's just hyperactive. You know what? One of the interesting things when I was channeling once, the angel said that hyperactivity is actually the children trying to stay awake because they're so tired, so that they get all antsy and do all kinds of things because they know that falling asleep is not a good thing. So in this case, falling asleep would be a good thing. Any kind of a sleep routine would be really good for this little David. He needs to be able to get that body rest so he can be calmer. He also needs to know that even though things happen that can be sad, that everything is okay. So if there's any kind of upheavals in life, you know, we go through a divorce, or daddy's not there so much, or something happens, that everything will work out in the long run. Everything is going to be okay. And you know what? You don't really have to explain what that means. You just have to say, it's okay, I'm here with you. And then lastly, if he can imagine himself happy, then he can go to that place where he's happy. Okay, take care. Your little namesake there, Dave.
Yeah, there you go, Dave. All right. Thank you, Donna, Gabriella, and David. Next up, we have Leah. And Nita is the child's name. And it just says 711 on here. 711. So I'm not quite sure.
Anita?
No. Nita. N-I-T-A.
Okay, Nita. You know, it doesn't really make a difference in this case because Nita has... Nita's a natural born psychic medium. Although everyone has some psychic gifts. Everyone has the ability to feel spirit. It's a beautiful thing, right? Some people are special, so she's just special. She also has the angels with her, and she has the angel lights around her. One of the things in her case, this is a little off track, but in her case, don't let anybody take advantage of her or want to use her in any way. Sometimes if a spiritual person sees that someone like her exists, they want to then own them because then they own their power. So don't get her in that position. I would be somewhat quiet about her gifts, okay? Help her to develop her gifts, but don't like tout them from the rooftops. Let her do it in her own good time. And then lastly, teach her how to pray so that the prayer always keeps her in the protection of the angels, and all will be well. She's going to really help a lot of people. Okay, there we go.
All right, thank you, Leah and Nita. All righty, Sabrina is next. She has two. Cool names too. A Marilyn.
A Marilyn? Okay, I love that.
Emarlyn. A Marilyn. Very cool. July 27th, birthday coming up. Happy birthday, 2012.
Okay. Sometimes you only know your family. In my case, my father had 13 brothers and sisters. That gave me, well, now I think last time I counted my relatives in the Chicago area, there were 857 of us. Isn't that crazy? Miracle of compound interest. So 13 brothers and sisters, each having like 5 children, each of those children having 3 or 4 children, and so it goes. And I was a child of one of the youngest ones, so the big thing about this is that I sometimes had a little problem making new friends because I didn't have a need for it because I had all these relations all around. So it's very important to help your child to make new friends. One of the things that is important is to keep up with people that you might meet casually, like on vacation. I was talking to a woman the other day, and she was laughing because her mother had made her write little notes to people when they met and say, thank you, I really enjoyed meeting you. It was like one of her mother's techniques. But now here the lady is in her 50s, and she has over 100 friends from all around the world that she still corresponds with. I just thought that was so cool. And now with social media and stuff, you can do it really easily. But she still sends cards and notes and knows about them and knows about their children and what's happening and knows about their cultures. So that's the kind of thing helped this little one to make friends. Next, quiet time is really important. When you have somebody I get the feeling that there's a pressure to get out there and be popular, so you have to step away from the pressure. And then it's very important when you need help to be able to ask for it. So it's not a question of being too proud to ask for help. It's that each human being needs to know that it's okay to ask for help. And thank you to all of those people, literally dozens of people who helped me to move. That was the most amazing thing in the world. We took a huge house, and what did we took 2 weeks to move, something like that. It was like just amazing with no movers, just everybody coming in and helping out. So having friends and not being afraid to ask for help is the name of the game. Okay, take care.
All right, we have time for one more this week. And don't forget,
Okay.
everybody, if we didn't get to you this week, I'll name off some names. After this one, we will definitely get to you next week. We got lots.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I'm loving
All
this.
right, Sabrina's other child is Xander. February 12th.
I love that name.
Yeah, it's February 12th, 2016. They're both from Oswego, Illinois, by the way, the dating capital of the world.
Okay, Xander is going to be your child that wants to go where others fear to go. He's fearless. You'll see as he gets into maybe he is at that age where he's crawling around the house and doing different things, and he's going to be the kid that is crawling out of his crib, or you'll find him up the stairs when he shouldn't be up the stairs. He's going to give you nightmares. So he has to learn that there's patience and that there's one step at a time. It's really important. So you have to get him involved with things like those little sticks that have the rings on them, and get him to put the rings on one step at a time, and then he gets like a treat if he does it right. Because otherwise he's always going to be really, let's just say, adventuresome. Next, he has to be able to trust how he feels and then find a way to get what he wants. So this is telling me, since that's his age, he's little, that he might be a little vocal about what he wants. So he has to learn how to feel something and then how to ask to have that need taken care of in a good and productive way. And then lastly, people, a lot of people, they're from Oswego, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because of the Fox River that runs through Oswego and the fact that it's flooding right now, that if you go look at the river, it's like a rapids. There was a time when a lot of bad things were dumped in the river. And a lot of us have wells or not city water. And so our water isn't necessarily purified in any way. And everyone says, oh, well water is really good, but not necessarily when you live by a polluted river. So he needs to be able to get water that's healthy for him. The angel just said the weirdest thing, that there's hormones in our water. I don't understand it. But, okay. So the angel says that hormones can't be filtered out and that you might want to get a special micron filter and look it up. Okay, so that's important. So get some good, healthy, clear water for your son, and all will be well. Okay, take care.
All righty.
And then I have an announcement to make.
Okay.
I am going to reach over here. Could you give me one of those out of there, out of that box? Oops, that's good.
Okay.
Okay. I am friends with the people who make quantum balance crystals. They are the most amazing things. They're actually lucite with crystals inside, and each one is specially designed to do a special thing for us. Like violet is enlightening. It helps if you're feeling you need inspiration and oneness and higher intelligence. And for the month of August, and you can call now to book your reading, with a full-priced reading, these will be only $10 extra. They're normally $50 each, so you're going to be getting an amazing deal, so you can go up on their website and check it out. And so book a reading now and get a beautiful free pendant while
What's
they
their
last.
website, Amy?
Their website is, excuse me, okay, I'm going to just look, qbcrystals.com, qbcrystals.com, or quantumbalancecrystals.com, either one. And so you can look up and you can read about them, and we have it here, and you can do it on the phone, and I will be glad to just pop it in the mail to you.
630-554-5040.
So this is for the month of August, and again, you can book now because we're going to book up fast because these are really a deal. When I first got mine, I paid $50 for it, so it's a really good deal. Okay.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. Thank you for your patience, for you guys waiting. Judy, Braden, Cranford, Sonia, Viter, Anna, let's see, Danielle, Peyton, Piper, Melissa, along with Jocelyn, Michael,
Whoa.
and many others.
And many others.
Many others that posted up on the live feed tonight that I can't get to right now. Anyway, guys, thank you for your patience. We're going to get the rest of you and some more next week. Don't forget about Friday night. The big seance is happening here at 2343 Douglas Road in Oswego. You got to come.
Okay, blessings to everyone. Love you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Whoops.